Greetings, queers. What's on the big gay agenda today, Theora?
Today, we are back for another recap episode of The Last of Us Season 2. Woo!
Wow.
Yeah. And Elena's back, our expert of The Last of Us.
Hi.
Welcome back, Elena. It's been so long.
It's been so long.
Oh my god. It's been a whole 20 minutes, guys. What the heck?
It really has been. You guys don't know that because these are not releasing 20 minutes apart.
Yeah.
No. But we are in the same clothes.
We are. We be like that sometimes. So, hey, if you're here because you like The Last of Us, we covered Season 1 in its entirety, and that's in a separate episode. And today we'll just be talking purely about Season 2, which is the most recent season at the time of this recording. So we're basically going to spoil a bunch of stuff. So if you're not into that, don't watch this. Go watch the show, then come back here. We will not be doing a scene-by-scene breakdown. This is just going to be all the stuff we liked about it, moments we wanted to talk about, and all that fun stuff. That's basically it.
Yes, and if you want to watch us watch the show, we all reacted to Season 2 at different points. Anyway, me and Theora, and then me and Elena. We reacted to Season 2. Highlights from episodes are on YouTube, but the full-length reaction videos and the full season are on our Patreon. So for $5, you can go watch all of those things and so much other queer content that's on our Patreon. And it's all ad-free as well. So enjoy that.
Yes. All right.
Cool. Yeah. So Season 2.
Let's just jump into it.
Okay.
All right. Let's start with the gay stuff. That's the best part, right?
Yeah, let's just start with Dina and Ellie.
All right, let's just start with Dina and Ellie. So, again, Ellie is the friends to lovers plotline. Is just she owns that. She just owns that. And I think it's fitting to keep having her go in this role. And again, it could just, that's her preference, which is totally fine. But it's very much like trauma bonding during the apocalypse. Like, I think you have to get on a level of trust before you can get to love. So it keeps making sense that Ellie ends up in like friendship first, and then it grows and blossoms from there, because like we talked about in Season 1, there's so few people she can even trust that it makes sense that that's the plot line she keeps ending up in with her like romances for the most part. Not that that's exclusive, but like the ones we mostly see on screen.
Yeah, because the trust issues are there.
With good reason, yes.
It takes a lot for her to even get to that point.
Yeah.
I'm surprised she was even able to get to that point with Kat, is it?
I don't even know that she got to that point with Kat. It seemed like that was just like sex /
that was kind of that was kind of just more like having fun together and exploring and everything. So, but
not a real relationship. But I just have to say that like Isabella and Bella have so much chemistry that I love watching the two of them on screen, and I think it's my favorite part of Season 2. Just how well they play off of each other. Because, like, I'm not just talking about romantic chemistry either. Like, oh, they look good together. Like, no, the humor, the jokes, the timing just plays off each other so nicely. And they both have these killer line deliveries and the facial expressions. It's just kudos. Because, like, they're amazing. And I love them. Can you tell just a little bit?
Well, Ellie and Dina are definitely like very well established as like very, very close friends, if not best friends for sure. Like from the get-go, honestly. Like I think they delve into it a little bit more in the games about like some of the story like between them and certain moments of like Ellie starts pining a little bit and Dina starts getting a little jealous when Ellie's with other people and everything. And it's a little bit harder to show, obviously, in a show like this. But yeah, I love that they established like they've known each other a long time. So,
in the game, did they explain how they met? Or because it just seems like it's implied they met in Jackson, which is valid.
I think it might have touched on it at some point. They in the game Like, I know for sure that they've known each other for at least a few years.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And they're, like, best friends.
Okay.
So,
I was just curious.
Dina was my favorite addition to season 2, but I just want to know more about Dina because we get very limited bits and pieces, and it's all very sad.
yeah.
But I want to know, like, how did she get to Jackson? How did she meet Ellie? And I want to know more about their relationship in the very beginning too.
I'm trying to remember because it's like, again, I said this last episode, but I haven't played the second game. I've only watched Let's Plays, so I don't really know every single thing about lore about the game. I don't know as much as I know about the first game.
Valid.
The first game is very nostalgic for me. But I don't remember if they touch on Dina, like, coming to Jackson. I know we know that her mom and sister were killed by a person who then she had to kill after witnessing that. Good God. So
Yes.
she definitely was lost and somehow ended up in Jackson after that, I think. But
Like, she was 8 years old, right? Like,
yeah,
that's
she was a kid when that
insane for an
happened. That's why I'm like, I don't
8-year-old.
remember. I don't know if
How do
Fedra like
you-
scooped her up or what happened, but yeah, I'll be honest, like I liked Dina in the game. I thought she was fine in the game. I wasn't like so attached to her, but I think Isabella's interpretation of her, like her version of Dina, I have fallen in love with that character. She's awesome, basically.
I just love Isabella. Like, that's what
Yeah.
this season has proved to me, because I've seen her in some other things. I've been watching her in things since like 2017, I believe. And she's just in like random things too. But in this show, she added so much to it, especially with the relationship with Ellie. And so, like, from the very first episode of season 2, like, we get a kiss in the first episode. And I was not expecting that at all. And I believe, Elena, you said that was in the game. And, like, that was, like, a big moment that they were trying to match. And it was... unfortunately, she was drunk. But
But were they, though?
were they?
I know. I had a friend completely spoil that for me, who like sent me all this stuff after season 1 and was like, "Oh, watch this," and it spoiled Joel dying, this moment, and
Why would they do that to you?
I know, I was pissed off, but I was like, whatever, it is what it is. But from what I remember, I just remember the twinkle lights in the barn. So once the twinkle lights happen, I'm like, oh, they're gonna kiss, because it looks like they got the setting very similar to the show and the way they shot it, where they were centered, and like I was like, oh man, they like. I remember that being a big game moment for people who are into that relationship.
Big gay moment, big gay moment.
Yeah, big game moment.
Yeah, they did a lot of like moments from like even just like single shots from the game. They kind of tried to recreate in the show. So thought that was very well done. Especially like Ellie, like the back shot of Ellie standing at the table with her bun and everything.
Yes.
Like that was definitely very well recreated from the game. Literally like Joel just watching Ellie and Jesse sitting at the table talking at the same party, like was really well recreated. And then the whole scene with Dina and Ellie was very recreated from the game as well. Pretty much word for word, I think, which was very funny. And just listening to their takes on like Isabella and Bella's takes on the characters' lines, which is always a lot of pressure when you're trying to pull from the source material, for sure.
Yeah.
Try to make it good.
Especially here, because it's like other actors did it, and then you have to, and it was beloved, and then you have to recreate it. That's a lot of pressure.
Not even just like from a book, but from like an actual video game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, where people could literally see it and
somebody else was acting it. Like,
yeah.
Like, that's a lot of pressure.
Oof.
But in the scenes, like with them together, they look so relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
In the character, like in characters, but also just in general too, playing off of each other, which I think just makes it you can tell that like Dina and Ellie are comfortable with each other just with how comfortable the actors seem to be playing off of each other. And
Yeah.
another thing that I just love, like when this kiss comes up again, is that we get the there was only one bed trope, but this time it's one horse/tent.
Yeah.
And there was no way that Ellie was getting out of that tent scene without any feelings coming across.
Well, yeah, I don't think that was the problem because, like, you even saw in the barn, like, they did a good job of being like, "Oh, Ellie's been pining for this person for a while." Because, like, every time, like, when Dina would like, he had her arm around her neck and was like holding her like that, and you could see Ellie's face. He was like, "What do I do? Like, this is too much. Like, this is too much. She's too close."
Yeah.
And then she's whispering shit in your ear to be like, "Oh, people should be jealous of us." I'm like, "Oh, shit," and she's like, "What is happening right now?" To like have your best friend, because like as the viewer in the series, not seeing the game, like to come into it and be like, is this the first time Dina has done this shit to Ellie? Because that's what it reads like from Ellie's point of view. To be like, oh, we're friends, we're friends, we're friends. You have a thing with that guy. And then for her to do this shit is really like, it seemed like it was out of the blue for Ellie. And Ellie's like,
yeah,
what do I do? Is it because she's high? Is it because she's not like, it was weird. Like, like it's for Ellie. It was like, what do I do? This is weird.
This is not how friends behave.
Well, because it's like, coming off of the cusp of season 1, like you saw her do that with Riley too, where she's like, she's my best friend. Like, how do you know if you can cross that line and like when it's okay? And like, cause like, yeah, it's not her first rodeo in that scenario, but like it seemed more intense for her in this moment. Cause it's not like a childhood crush. This was like they're adults, like basically young adults at this point. Yeah, it just seemed more complicated from like Ellie, even just in that scene, like when you don't really know anything about it, just the way they were acting it, like from Bella's point of view, I was like, this seems, she's like, danger, what do I do? Danger.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
then,
like, how do you react to that?
right. That, yeah. Apparently you make out with your best friend. That's what you do, according to this show.
I mean,
yeah,
what
so
do you all do? I don't know what you're talking about.
So then when they talk about it later, like, I'm glad they talked about it at all, because just, yeah, they avoided it for a while, and then Dina brings it up, but then it's like she's bringing it up in this like, I just want to know, friend to friend, because friends kiss.
Yeah,
like it was like
jokingly
weird, and then she's like, okay, whatever, this is, you're being weird about this.
And then she like tries to be like, you're gay, I'm not. Like,
right.
okay, this
She's
is you
like,
trying to convince
okay.
yourself right now. This is the last time you try to convince yourself.
Yeah.
But it's just very humorous that Ellie rates the kiss as a 6. And she's like, that's not bad. I was waiting
Dina's
for
Dina
Dina
was
to
like
be
offended.
like, well, let's try again.
Right, yeah. So that's that where that was going.
That's basically what happens in the game, which is really funny.
They have those personalities, though.
So it's really funny. So it's very different how it all unfolds in the game. So basically, Ellie and Dina go on a scouting, like they go on one of their rounds, and they end up discovering a weed farm underground.
Oh my god!
So they proceed
not in a
to
7-Eleven.
No, it was just like underground somewhere they were in, and they proceed to get high naturally and start like flirting like crazy until they finally just start making out.
That would have
And
made
then
a
it
lot of
kinda
sense.
goes to black. But at the same time, that's also when Joel gets captured. So
Oh shit!
I kind of understand why
Trauma.
they didn't do it that way, because boy, was that traumatizing.
Yeah, again, every time Ellie lets her guard down just a little, bad shit happens and she loses somebody. Like, oh god. They were like, let's bring that back for season 2, shall we? Or the game number 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of okay with, like, that's cute and that is very them, those two characters. I'm cool with not doing that in the show. I thought narratively it worked the way they were doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially because, like, from my understanding of the game, the second game, it's like half the game is Ellie point of view, and then the other half is Abby. So it made sense if they were basically taking season 2 to be like, this is the half where you're just focusing on Ellie, to like spread that out, because you had to spread it out over like a longer period of time, I imagine, than you would have had in the game. Whereas like they did all of the first game in the first season, you would have to narratively spread things out. So I'm cool with how they chose to like kind of do that personally. So thank you for that context.
Elena, is the game, to your knowledge, like you go through Ellie's point of view, then you go back to Abby, or is it switching back and forth?
It's kind of back and forth. So like you start out as you actually start, I think, if I remember right, as Abby.
As Abby, yeah.
In present day.
That's true.
Her like look on the search for Joel, and then you switch over to Joel initially. There's like a flashback, I think it is, if I remember right, to like right after they get back to Jackson. Bless you.
Sorry. Thought I was muted.
You were.
And there's like this whole flashback scene where they just got back to Jackson and Joel and Ellie are talking, and Ellie's like, he like, I think it's like their first lesson of, it's when he sings her that song that he actually sings in like episode 5.
The guitar lesson.
Yeah, he gives her a guitar lesson, and then
I do remember this.
Then it flashes forward to present day, and then we kind of go from there. And that going on forward is Ellie's point of view for a little bit, and then I think we kind of alternate for a little bit between her and Abby, while Abby's like fighting the runners, and then meets up with Joel and all of that. So like that's all kind of alternated POVs. And then at some point, like later in the game, is when you get to flashback for Abby, and you get to learn more of her story, and why she killed Joel, why some of like her friends dying was so devastating for her, which they haven't dwelled on yet. They haven't gotten to that part of Abby's story yet, which is supposed to be next season. So, but yeah.
I'm honestly really excited for Abby's point of view. I didn't think I was going to be, but I really am, because I just want to see more of the other, because like I feel like the world building in this season was a lot more limited because we were so closely following Ellie for the most part and wrapping up Joel's story, that we didn't really get to see a lot of the world outside, because they weren't super exploring. It was just like we went to Seattle, we were in Wyoming, that was kind of it. Versus like season 1, they did more traveling and we got to see more groups of humans and stuff. So I'm curious to see like Abby and like what was going on. Where was she? What was she doing? What's it like living in the wolf world and all that kind of stuff? Because like I like the world building, so I'm curious to see what the hell is going on with her. But anyway, that's just me.
Since Dina and Ellie were really my favorite part of season 2, that's why I'm just like worried about Abby being the main, because I've just fallen in love with Dina and Ellie so much. But I'm sure that the season's going to be good. And watch, it'll be my favorite. Who knows? 2 years will tell.
Yeah, we got some time.
I'm saying nothing.
Don't say anything. I don't want to know. Don't tell me. Don't tell us. But I'm just very curious, like what other stuff we don't know about the world. So I thought, like, I think it makes sense in the game to be like sequential and skip point of views. And like, I was thinking about it after watching it, like, would it have been better to do that? But like, now you have a cliffhanger at the end of season 2 because we kept the point of views so strict, that it makes for better television to be like, oh shit, what the fuck was going on with Abby? What's going to happen next? Like, I think it makes better television, to be honest, but it is going to be interesting overall because it's probably the last season. It is going to be interesting to be like, you had season 1 that was like Joel's point of view primarily with some Ellie. And then we transitioned to season 2 where it becomes more Ellie, less Joel. We wrap that up, then goes to another completely different character. It's a really interesting way to like tell the story where you have different like main point of view people, which is not typical of a TV show. So it's a really interesting choice for a show. And as the game, it must have been really jarring to me, like, who is this person that I'm like playing? But I guess in the first game, you're Sarah, and then you're never Sarah again. So, like, maybe you were kind of used to being like, I guess I'm this person now. But it seems weird because you got attached to Joel and Ellie, and then you're not them to start the game. It seems weird. Anyway,
While
just throw that
we're
out there.
here talking about like the future season, I just want to do not a disclaimer, but just a thing to anybody listening, watching. If you've played the game, please do not tell us in the comments.
Yeah, don't tell
We'll
us.
be very sad.
Yeah, I don't want to know what happened.
Because like a couple, like very few things have been spoiled, but like we try to stay as spoiler free as possible because we want to be surprised. So yeah.
Speaking of surprises.
Yes, there's a lot of surprises going on in episode 4. Episode 4, I think, is my favorite episode, where Dina finds out that Ellie's immune. And she finds this out because Ellie is Dina's knight in shining armor, seeing that oh my god, sorry. Dina's about to be bitten, and Ellie puts her arm in front of her, so she's bitten instead. Because it's no big deal to Ellie. This is luckily not an everyday thing, but it happens more often than you would hope.
Wait, I love this scene though as the biting is happening because they're in one of those like those
Turnstiles.
What is it called?
Turnstile.
But it's like one of the ones that are hard as fuck to get them to move. And like Ellie had the reaction we all have in real life when we're in these things. We're like, for fuck's sake, the thing won't move. And it's like this hindrance because she's trying to exit. But then it ends up saving them because then the zombies also can't get out. So it's like the pros and cons of these fucking things that don't work smoothly. So I thought that was really funny. She's like, God damn it. And then they're like, okay, I guess it helped us in the end. But anyway, that was a realism moment. Those things suck in real life.
They really do.
They really do. So I thought that was funny.
But then so much happens in the scene after this one because Ellie now needs to prove that she's immune to Dina. So Dina doesn't shoot her.
Yeah.
So both of them right now, there's just so much going on in their heads. I mean, I feel like there's less going on in Ellie's head because it was so normal to her, but then she didn't realize that, oh no, Dina doesn't know. Okay, but now Ellie has to prove it. And Dina has to deal with the fact that she might have to kill her best friend. And that's a lot. And
I mean, that parallels Ellie and Marlene, right?
Yeah.
The best friend. Damn.
And yeah, it's as you were talking the last episode, I was like, oh wow, it's literally the same thing.
Parallels.
But then also with Ellie and Riley too, that happened with.
Yeah, a lot of best friend homicide happening in this show.
Oh my gosh. Justice for best friends.
Justice for best friends. They're either
or best friends kills.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Somebody please clip that and gift that. A lot of best friend homicide in this show.
There's your promo.
Thanks, Elena.
Listen, the best friends are either making out or murdering. That's kind of it.
Yep. You're not wrong.
I know.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
There's no other way to be friends in this show.
Don't call anyone a best friend in this series. It's just not going to end well.
You either have to know that you're about to be in love with them. However, that doesn't always save you either.
No.
Sometimes you still have to shoot the person.
Just don't say you're my best friend. Just don't say it. Don't say it.
Don't have any best friends.
Don't have best friends.
Anyway, but while Ellie is sleeping, because I guess she's like, well, if we have to kill time, I may as well sleep while you stay up and just watch me. Dina is figuring out that she cannot live without Ellie. And I was just thinking about this scenario, and it shows how normal living in an apocalypse is to them, because this is all they've known. The fact that they're always in imminent danger, but because they're so used to it, it's not causing them to see what they really want. Like in that life or death situation where in the beginning of the pandemic, all the adults were like realizing what was truly important to them. Now it's literally having Ellie being bitten that proves to Dina that she can't lose Ellie in her life. Although that danger of losing her is every single second of the day, because who knows where an infected or a human could be with a gun.
Yeah, but like
let's be real,
they're they're like young adults where they have that invincibility mentality where it'll never happen to me kind of thought. That's why they're always so reckless, and like it pissed me off. This is why I don't like YA shit, because like young adults do and kids do stupid shit. Like they go out on the patrol and they see all the blood, and the leader of the patrol is like, no, we need to go back. That's the protocol. The protocol is there to keep us all safe and come back in bigger numbers. And then what does Ellie and Dina do? They're like, I can't hear you. And they go ahead. And then what happens? A bunch of people die. So it's like, they have that we're invincible like mentality that ends up getting a lot of people killed. And now they're in this situation because they defected and decided to go on this mission by themselves. And like, here, you guys put yourselves here. And suddenly it's real. It's not real till it affects me kind of thing, which is kind of shitty. But on a happier note, is this not the Bill and Frank thing where like I was never afraid until I met you, until I had you? That's this playing out again with the youngins.
Yeah. And you do see that throughout the rest of the season where now Ellie's terrified. You see the fear in her face whenever we're in like danger, especially with Dina being around. But can we talk about the 5 seconds once Ellie proves that she's immune? Because the order of events that happen is wild. Okay, so it goes from, oh, Ellie's not infected, to Dina telling Ellie, I'm pregnant, to then Dina running to Ellie and kissing her. Like, yes. That is
dropping the lantern.
First of all, from Ellie's point of view, she almost was gonna die. And then she finds out her best friend's pregnant, that she has feelings for. So like, oh shit, she's gonna have a baby with someone else. Oh wait, the person I'm in love with is kissing me right now. What is happening?
Yeah, that was insane.
I'm not mad at it.
No, it was just a lot.
I thought it was a great scene, but it was a lot.
It was very funny to watch.
It was.
I just really like that scene. It's just, it will always get me.
It makes sense. Hilarious. They're just idiots. So that kind of makes sense. They're idiots in love, right? It makes sense for their trope.
Oh. But it's like all the things that Dina was thinking about is just like she had to like get everything out all at once. Because there's just so much... I was going to say trauma, but yeah, trauma too.
I mean, yeah.
Trauma, just worries that she was ruminating over while feeling like she's going to lose everything that she wanted and what she saw for her future.
Yeah.
And now this is she felt like this was her only chance to get all of it at once.
Yeah, Dina's lost people too, so.
Yep. Yeah, like Riley, she's like, saw my family dead in front of my eyes. Like, that's another one that was like orphaned in a horrific way. Like, from Ellie, at least Ellie was spared seeing her mother die. She never had to see that. She just never knew it. And then like all these like the women she ends up dating like watch their family die in front of their eyes, right?
Yeah, no.
It's really, really horrible. And so then for Dina to get to the point where like she loves someone enough to be afraid of losing them, like that must be a lot, because imagine being 8 years old, seeing that, and then trying to like process that horror of this world. And it wasn't like an infected, it was a human that chose to be a monster that killed her family. So
yeah, that's what's really messed up about it.
Yes, I agree. Like,
which helps her understand Ellie more too in this scene because of what happened with Joel.
Yeah. So I wonder if she was so like Dina was motivated to get Joel and Ellie to reconcile because like her parents were taken from her, versus she's like, you still have a fucking parent, like let's fix this while you guys are both still alive, kind of thing. I wonder if that was her underlying motivation for like,
that's a good
like,
point.
I'm hanging out with Joel, you should hang out with me. And like Ellie's the type of person that like you can't tell her what to do, because if you tell her what to do, she'll do the opposite. So which drives me insane about people sometimes. But like, so I think she knew her well enough to be like, just follow me. You have to choose, otherwise you're not going to do what's best for you if I tell you to do it. Okay, one moment I really love with Dina is I love when she confesses to Ellie about how she came into her queerness, basically, and how she knew, meaning she knew when she was, before her parents died. Like, she knew when she was young. Okay, because parents died at 8, right? She said she told her mother this, meaning she was a child and she understood attraction, which is kind of wild to be that young. And she was like, I told my mom I liked girls and boys, and my mom said, no, you like boys only. And the fact that this girl internalized that for years, to the point where she had her own internalized like biphobia, and that was what was pushing her to keep trying to make this relationship with Jesse worked, because there's like hints of it throughout the beginning before we get to this conversation where Ellie's like, why do you guys keep doing this on and again, off again thing? And like Dina looks really confused and she's like, I don't know. And it's kind of like the fear that was driving her to be like, no, I have to be what my mom said. I have to be what my mom said. I have to be. And like, it doesn't work, but she keeps trying over and over and over again. And like, that's the damage of like trying to indoctrinate children into being what they're not, or like, that's the damage of like a lack of representation, or this narrative to be like, you must be normal. Like, you can't be another way. Because when people aren't, they try to force themselves in these boxes and ultimately they're miserable. And then in this case, it's like now her and Jesse are like having a baby, and now she's dragged another person into this that like shouldn't have been there. And it's like, it just creates this big mess. But I really love this confession from her, because like the poor girl, like, it took her so long because she was battling with herself a lot, which is so sad. Like, what a shitty position to be in.
If it wasn't for mom, we could have had it all a lot earlier.
Yeah, but like that's a reality now for a lot of people,
Yeah.
and it's just really sad the way I think it's important to show that the way that rhetoric harms people. Like, it really does. Like you just saw her battling with that in the little moments where the relationship with Jesse would come up. Like, she was clearly like battling herself, which is so fucked up. Okay. And then, so then the relationship part that we focused on is that triangle situation that's happening between Ellie, Dina, and Jesse. And I found the resolution of this whole thing really interesting and surprisingly emotionally mature. And like, maybe it's because they grew up in a commune that it ended this way. But like, basically the resolution was like, Ellie was very willing to be Dina's partner with the baby, which is sweet. And also narratively made sense, because like Ellie, a lot from season 1 to season 2, is very much choosing to be on the same path as Joel. Like, she's basically about to walk in Joel's footsteps, essentially, in so many aspects of her life, including like fatherhood kind of thing.
Yeah. Especially fatherhood. Can we just talk about that line real quick where she says, holy shit, I'm gonna be a dad? Because like that's the time when, well, it's like right after, I forget if it's before or after, but like we're all gonna have a baby, and like her putting it all together. And I love the fact that she says, I'm gonna be a dad, because like it just matches Ellie's energy, first of all. And apparently Bella was also really excited about this line and like wanted to say it, which is so sweet. I love it. Caught me off guard and made me laugh, and I loved it.
Yeah, I think they added this in from I don't think that line was in the game. I think they added that in, so it's really cute.
It is cute. And it's such a like queer person thing to do, to like play with gender roles.
Yeah, especially because like there's 2 females in the situation, mom and dad, and like Ellie's the type of person who would like play up the, oh, I'm the dad, like not be like, oh, there is no dad, like, no, I'm the dad.
But also
those are really sweet. Oh, sorry.
It just really hits you over the head with like, Ellie is turning into Joel in many ways, including this aspect of it. And I do like the fact that, like, again, Jesse is acknowledged you know, as being part of this too, in that line you mentioned where Ellie's like, oh, we're all having a baby. So it becomes this like communal baby in a way. And then Ellie's like, okay, I guess I'm just going to be your partner. And then he's going to be the biological dad. Like they already are just like, yeah, that's fine. Like everybody comes to this agreement naturally to be like, that's just what this is going to be. And maybe that's like raising babies in communes kind of thing where like the village raises the kid.
Yeah,
It's not this
take
like
the
weird
village.
ownership hereditary stuff is less meaningful in commune type civilizations. So I wonder if that's where they got the
Probably.
mentality to already be cool with it.
I also love that the show does not paint Jesse as like the evil ex or the
Yeah.
stupid, annoying
Mhm.
ex or whatever.
Right. Exactly.
He is just like, Jesse's just a genuine, like, good guy. He's just,
Yeah.
he's a good guy. He's their friend. Like, they both love him very sincerely. Like,
Mhm.
they're all like,
Yeah.
in like, and there's no like separation of him to them necessarily, except for the fact that they are now pursuing each other.
Yeah.
But they're all friends, and that doesn't necessarily change after Ellie and Dina get together necessarily, but obviously the whole situation is they're trying to survive, and then everything happens at the end, which
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but yeah, Jesse's
don't
never
talk
the
about
evil
that.
ex. Yeah, we don't talk about that. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jesse's never the evil ex. He's just
Yeah.
he is the ex-boyfriend who is still a friend.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. I love that it was very maturely handled between all of them. Like even when he has the conversation with Ellie and he's like, I already recognize that like you love her in a way I don't. Like they were all
And-
very mature about the whole triangle. That's what it was amazing to me because
Yeah.
usually it's like jealousy and because they're young and they're big feelings and like, you know, and you were saying like the game had more jealousy involved in it, but like it was very mature the way they resolved this. They're like, it is what it is. Let's talk about this and move on. Also, we have zombies to kill. You know, like, you know.
Yeah, and even in the beginning when Ellie thought that he was upset about the kiss and he was pretending like he was, and he's like, oh no, don't worry, I already knew about that. I don't care.
Right.
Let's go, patrol.
Yeah.
But then we also have a moment in that last episode where Ellie picks up a book for the baby and he's like, I should have thought of that. But he didn't get mad at her for being like doing something for them. Like it was just good
Yeah.
that she did.
Yeah, he was just like, I need to be a good dad to this kid.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm now taking on a responsibility. I acknowledge she's pregnant, which means I need to take care of a child. So I'm going to be a father.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, again, the pregnancy baby thing is like the ultimate, you're an adult now. It seems like that's the narrative in The Last of Us. And it's beaten over our heads multiple times where it's like, you're not going to understand love until you have a kid. And that changes your perspective and you're less reckless and all this stuff. And like, you already see them transitioning to that, even though like there's no baby yet. It's the concept of it's coming. And then they're like, we have to think more rationally than we ever have. We can't just go guns a-blazing into every scenario like Ellie does.
Meanwhile,
that's how we get here. You know?
Ellie's like, why not?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Dina is not like that. Dina's like, nothing's changed. Like,
because she was always more rational. She was already rational from the beginning. I mean, she was a little asshole too, because like she's young. But she was always being the one like, we got to think before we go. Like, let's plan. Did you think about clothing? Did you think about food? Are you ever guns? Like, again, like, you're not thinking this through. And it goes back to Riley in season 1. Riley's like, you don't know everything, Ellie. And you got to be okay with the fact that you don't know everything. Even though you navigate the world like you do, you don't. That's a hard lesson many people have to learn. We don't know everything.
No matter how much you think you do. Anyway, but going off that point, Dina in general was really good at bringing Ellie back to reality and keeping her level-headed. Yeah. There's many times like Ellie would have just reacted. I swear it was I don't think she says it, but I think it was Dina who got her to write down her thoughts on a piece of paper so she wouldn't at the.
Oh, it was Jessie.
Oh, it was Jessie. Okay,
Yeah.
well, you know, either one. There's Jesse works too, but the balance between Ellie's like just go for it attitude and then Dina's type A, like plan it all out, they really balance each other because Dina could be stuck planning and not acting, where Ellie is good to like just going for it, like more adventurous. And Ellie definitely needs to be pulled back, and we see that more than like Ellie helping Dina, but we definitely see the Ellie being pulled back more with the way that she's being told, like, okay, so why don't we want to do that? I love every time that Dina was like, okay, so why you're about to do this? Why do you think that that's a bad idea right now? And then she makes Ellie literally list out everything, what's wrong with her plan, because it wasn't a plan. Especially when they first arrive in Seattle and they see the wolf building, and she's like, well, it's on a hill, which means that they'll see us before we even see them, and it's broad daylight. So we're fine, we'll go make a plan. So I just love that balance between the two of them, and it makes their relationship stronger, I feel like.
Well, it's like, again, it's another really good indicator that Dina knows how to talk to Ellie, because if Dina was just like, this is a bad idea because XYZ, Ellie would not listen because she doesn't like being told what to do. So like, again, she has to frame it in a way that she's like, tell me about this, and then get Ellie to be like, oh, okay, like I see why it's a bad idea. I've come to my conclusion of why it's a bad idea. I'm deciding we should do, you know what I mean? Other than being like, this is a bad idea, don't do this. Don't do this. That means she's gonna go do it. Like, she's that annoying person that's always like, you can't tell me what to do. I'm gonna do it harder now. Like, that's Ellie's
They say, don't do the thing. So do the thing? No,
Yeah.
don't do that. All I hear is do the thing.
Right. It's like, don't press the red button. Smash. Like, that's Ellie.
It's a freaking cat. All you hear is don't eat that. Eat that. Must eat that.
Literally. I'm gonna play with it and bring another one to you. Like, that's literally Ellie. So like, Dina learned how to communicate to Ellie to get, it has to be her idea, otherwise she's not gonna do it. So I appreciate the fact that Dina has the patience to be like, okay, think about this for a second. Tell me what you think about this. Oh yeah, see, it's a bad idea. I'm glad you thought of that.
That's why I want to see more of their relationship building too, because I want to see like becoming friends and realizing how you have to talk to Ellie and figuring each other out.
I'm sure there's fan fictions that exist.
Yes,
that will
I'm sure.
Explain this to you. I'm sure they're out there.
100% they definitely do.
But speaking of them arriving in Seattle, that I mentioned like minutes ago, I find it very sad that the rainbows have lost their meaning throughout the pandemic, and that the pride flags just don't represent what they used to, especially for the youngins.
Well, I loved the realism of that because, like, again, it's like going through the ruins of an ancient city and you don't have the context of what any of it meant. So I love their conversation. They're like, maybe they were just really optimistic, and because they have to put it together with no context of why there's rainbows on this street and things like that. And they're like, maybe they were just very happy and just like sunshine, or like, I don't know, they were cloud worshiping people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know the context of this, and you just have to like be like, assign meaning to it, because that's what humans do.
Yes, because we need meaning for everything. Yeah.
Yep.
But how ironic, they were riding Shimmer into Gaytown, USA, Seattle.
That's cute.
While still figuring out their own shit.
Speaking of figuring things out, one thing I really liked on the journey of Ellie's queerness specifically is getting all the scenes where Joel was learning about this, because like he didn't have to deal with this with his daughter. So then he's got to deal with this with Ellie. So it's like another uncharted territory for like Joel, the surrogate parent. So I thought it was really interesting to see him, the father figure, like figure this out. And we don't get it in a linear fashion. We get like moments of it and then in flashbacks, and we have to kind of put together like the timeline of Joel figuring out Ellie's queer. And so I love the flashback where he takes her out for her birthday in the woods, and they start talking about, he's trying to give her the sex talk, and she's like, already we've gotten the scene already with Bill's magazine, and she's like, this isn't for me. Like, and so she knows that she's queer and he doesn't, and then she's like, how about this? How about I promise to never get pregnant, and then you teach me how to shoot guns. And then as the dad, he's like, oh, thank God, yeah. And then in the background, she's like, that's never gonna happen because I'm gay. So, and he doesn't know that. So it's really funny. Those moments are hilarious because, like, as a queer person, like when you're not out, like that's like life. So like I love the realism of that. I thought it was hilarious. But then because he doesn't know that, he like unintentionally fucks up. Like when he catches her with a tattoo artist, and he's like, and now you're experimenting, which Ellie rightfully does not take that well. She's like, I'm not experimenting. Like, damn. Like, Joel, what year is it that you're calling this experimenting? Come on, sir.
You lived before the pandemic. Come on.
Right.
He's from Texas, though.
I know.
So,
Yeah, sure.
Austin, Texas.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. And then Austin. But then I love that he like obviously processes this off screen and is like fine with it. He was just like saying stuff, you're right, from his conservative background. And then I love when he defends her at the dance. I know she didn't love that, but I loved Joel punching homophobes. That was great. Honestly, that was wonderful. I loved him punching homophobes. That was peak dad moment of just like, don't talk shit about my daughter. He just like attacks this man, which I really love.
And like both of them, because I feel like he's gotten closer to Dina as well, especially when
oh yeah, for sure,
because Dina was around a lot more. So it's like both his daughters, like, don't talk about them like that.
It's really, really cute. And like it sealed the deal that he really did care about Dina, like you're saying. It's when we get the final conversation between Ellie and Joel, when he's like, well, she would be lucky to have you and all that. Like he comes full circle from being absolutely clueless to accidentally homophobic to punching homophobes, and then basically being like, you found a good one, Ellie. Like, you know what I mean? It's very, what a dad journey, you know, for that. It was cute. I loved it.
I love that scene where like Seth, the guy that he has, was like, he's was very homophobic, and Ellie turns around and just goes, the fuck did you say? And Joel comes right in, and I'm just thinking it's just a sequence of going, the fuck did you say? The fuck did you say?
Yeah. same brain cell in that scene.
So funny.
It was so funny.
Oh my gosh. I would love to talk about all this even more, but we have to take a quick break for some shout outs for our Chaos Crew over on Patreon.
Woo! Yay!
Our Chaos Crew members on the Big Gay Ride or Die tier and above are Moving Forward Leading, Amix Monzone _ Multi, Natalia, Danny, Michelle G, Ariel W, Leona, Wordjupichin, Cassium, Here For It, Jill L, Regina B, Monet F, Jasmine O, and Nancy D.
Woo!
And our featured Big Gay supporter members for this episode are Sony, Jackie S, and AJ.
Yay!
Thank you so much for all of your support, and thank you to everyone listening and watching to this episode, whether you are on Patreon or not. We really appreciate all of the support that you give us. You're sharing this video with friends, or however you're able to support us. Make sure you come join our Discord to talk about The Last of Us and other queer media with other people who love this, and also us. We love to connect with you as well.
We do.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. So now that we talked about all the gay stuff, let's talk about other stuff that we liked about season 2. And I have to start with the fact that they cast Catherine O'Hara. First of all, I wasn't expecting her to show up. And the fact that she's a drunk and high therapist was just wonderful. I'm so happy about that.
That was hilarious that Joel paid with weed.
I love her.
Yeah, that was his payment, which is so funny.
She's like, STEMs. What am I in high school? I love her so much. She's great.
I'm just remembering the mom from Home Alone, and I'm just like looking at this one, and I'm just like, this is her. This is her when Kevin has like gone off. This is the mom in the apocalypse.
Wait, is this the same actor?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Catherine O'Hara is the mom from Home Alone. Is Kevin's the mom?
I'm pretty sure you told me that in a reaction video, and then I just totally forgot. But
yeah. That part was just really funny.
It would have made it slightly more epic if she spoke in Moira's voice from Schitt's Creek. That's her like most recent role. It's super iconic. Like if she was doing the Moira Rose voice, that would have been ridiculous, but really funny. I loved her in this. Every scene with her is incredible. I also thought it was a really, really interesting choice to have a therapist included in this story, especially because she's the last therapist. And so they hint at it, and I think they talk about it a little bit, but like everybody comes to unburden themselves to her. And she has this throwaway line that I thought was really important where she's like, usually I would go talk to a therapist also so I can unburden all the stuff people have put on me. But because she's the last therapist, there is no one to help her unburden. So like the irony of that, like to be the last of your profession and like you can't, she's just carrying everybody's burdens around. There is no unburdening. So there is coping with drugs and alcohol. That is her coping mechanism because there's no one to talk to that can be her therapist, which is really sad actually.
When I was rewatching and got to that scene, all I could think about was, what if she dies? Like, her job is really important for mental health. And, like, what is the training going on right now? Like, is anybody training these specialized skills to the younger generation?
No. That's the thing. It's the burning of the Library of Alexandria. Like, once they die, the knowledge is lost. Unless they consciously pass it on, which they're not. Because what is the commune doing? The commune is focused on surviving. It's building the wall, making sure people can shoot, making sure they can patrol, making sure everybody's fed. There's no leisure time for anybody to learn to be a therapist. So once she's gone, that's it. It's a dead art. Unless they have books about it and can revive it later, like that's it. It's gone. The knowledge is lost for until it's discovered again. That's the sad part about it.
Yeah.
Same thing with the medicine and all that kind of stuff. Like once that knowledge is lost, it's lost until we rediscover it, or it's gone forever.
Which is terrifying as well.
And historically accurate, because like in the Library of Alexandria, there were so many things in there that we knew and that was lost until like thousands of years later, we rediscovered a lot of things that like we could have been doing the whole time, but because colonization and empires, they were just like, burn the knowledge. Like it threw us all back. Humans do this. Like it's really sad. Anyway, that's why we'll lose. This is why we're going to lose. Okay. All right. So let's talk about one of the main things of season 2, which is Ellie and Joel's relationship in season 2. What did you guys think about that? Because now we have like adult Ellie and Joel.
I loved that we got more of a chance to really delve into it, even though some of it was flashbacks. I kind of liked the chronology that they did with this.
I agree.
Of, like, letting it unfold, because, like, you don't really know at the beginning, like, where they're at in their relationship. Because it's, like, obviously Ellie's avoiding Joel, but it's, like, okay, what happened? Like, obviously either she found out the truth or something else happened, something. And she's mad at Joel and she is staying away from him. Because everybody's asking, like, what's going on? So obviously this isn't like a long time thing that's just been them drifting apart. Like something happened.
Right.
And it made me sad to see them on the outs with each other, but it made sense.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we got them and their relationship. Because I love the dynamic of the two of them. They're hilarious together. I love that we did get that later. And it makes sense story-wise for them to be on the outs when we first see them again. But it just made me sad while watching it the first time and not knowing that we'd get more.
Oh, man. Yeah, especially in the later episode. I don't know if it's episode 5 or 6 that they're all the flashbacks of
6.
them. Yeah. That's 6. I mean, Caitlin witnessed this. I out loud, I screamed, "Fuck you, Craig Mazin."
As you should.
It was a roller coaster.
Yes.
I think you said that multiple times, actually.
I remember saying it very, very loudly once, for sure. I know I definitely said God damn it, Craig, but I remember just like Joel saying, because I love you, and I go, oh fuck you, Craig. I lost it.
Oh, I know. That was
Um,
what a scene that was.
Yeah. But yeah, I was just like the whole, like, especially the flashbacks, like getting to watch them at the museum.
Oh
And
my
then,
god, that was so cute that Joel did
yeah,
that. She loves space. It was adorable.
it's amazing because like even it, like, in the game, it's like the rift between them is even more severe, I feel like,
Interesting.
because there is this moment where Ellie's like, I think Joel's lying. I need to go find out for myself. And she goes back to Seattle,
Oh shit.
I think is what I remember. And she like goes to scavenge the hospital and she finds these records. Like somebody like posts like this audio tape in there and just like, everyone's dead. Everyone who knows how to make this cure is dead, and now the girl's gone and everything. So Ellie's like, Joel finally comes after Ellie and he's just like, where have you been? And she's just like, what happened here, Joel? Tell me the fucking truth. And that's what he tells her, and she has like a breakdown when she finds out. She like starts crying and he like tries to go console her and she's like, don't fucking touch me. I'll go back to Jackson with you, but we're done. I'm not talking to you anymore. We're done. So it's even more intense in the game. So that's what I thought was happening at first, but then like Ellie at one point says to Jesse, she's just like, look, me and Joel, we have our differences, but like we're always gonna be Joel and Ellie. It's fine. And I was like, okay.
That's weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when learning that that's the chronology that actually happened here in the show, I was like, oh, it makes more sense. Okay. But it was very beautifully done.
I feel like they were on the surface presenting it as like, she's a teenager that's rebelling against dad or whatever. She's just trying to establish herself as an adult, and like he's holding her back. Because like at the beginning, it's like, I want to patrol, and they're like, Joel's worried you can't patrol. She's like, I'm an adult now. He can't tell me what to fucking do. So it seemed like it was that struggle on the surface.
Yeah.
But then even if you watch the very last scene of season 1, it's evident Ellie does not believe him fully in that moment. So like, that was going to be a festering rift for a while because she doesn't let things go. So yeah. And I love that the therapist clocks it. She's like, you're not telling me the truth. I've been a therapist long enough to know when people are like omitting shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was interesting because like Joel's lie creates this ultimate rift between them, and I thought the flashbacks were a clever way to let that unfold because we're just getting back into the story and we have to like adjust to Ellie being an adult and all that kind of stuff and the direction that this is now going to go because we don't have the mission of getting Ellie somewhere. So we have to get like resettled in the world. And so I like that it started in a place where like we don't know fully what happened between them. And then it was more stabbing you in the heart to get get it all unfolded in the flashbacks. And you're like, God damn it, Joel. But I thought it was really interesting because like you can kind of, like I said, sense that from the way the first season ended, because to me it seemed like Ellie felt like something was off in that moment because she spent a ton of time with Joel up till that moment. But I feel like as a kid, she didn't like potentially dwell too much on it because like I feel like she chose to see Joel as this good guy. Like he's the surrogate dad. He has been with her for so long. She trusts him. She loves him on some level. And so she's like, okay, I want to believe him. I'll choose to believe him. But then as she gets older, it seemed like this moment just like ate away at her. And then the pinnacle moment is when she saw him lie to her again. And she's like, you made the same face. So I love, and that, like, that's the thing. She's like, she trusts Joel more than anybody else. And then to have him lie to her face more than once, and then to watch him do it to other people. Like, I feel like that was like, is my whole life a lie kind of moment. Cause she's like, what else were you lying to me about so casually? And the way she like called him out in front of the therapist, and she's like, that's not what happened to your husband. I was fucking there. Like, it's like, girl, he was going for mercy, but like she was so triggered by the fact that he lied to her and broke his promise again that like that was it. Like that moment was hard to watch.
And she wanted to know the truth, so she felt like I
Yeah.
forget her name. The therapist should know the truth as well.
Right.
Without, and of course she's still a kid. She's not going to think, well, is this the best time to do it right now?
Yeah. But okay, I love that we do get the very last scene of the two of them where they do confront this moment and actually talk about it. And I love that they were both honest. Like, obviously with Joel, it was really hard for him to like talk about this. That was the whole point of like the therapist scene where she was trying to get him to be like, just tell me, unburden yourself. Like, you got to be honest. You can't move on. So he was finally honest with her. And I love that Ellie gets to the point where she is mature enough and has processed this enough to make the decision to try and forgive him and try and move forward from this. Cause like they can't change the past. It's like all you can do is choose something going forward. And I think that's the callback to will always be Ellie and Joel kind of thing. Like, here's people who've done horrible shit in the name of survival, in the name of love, in the name of like whatever. And they're people, and they're gonna choose to like be Ellie and Joel going forward. Unfortunately, they don't have much time left, but like I like that they still had them make the conversation to be like, okay, like let's be Ellie and Joel again. We'll figure out a way to get back to that, or some new normal for us, I guess. And I like in the flashbacks, like you can really see that although Joel is like, I would do it again, it still ate away at him to lie to her. You know, like that was the real issue, is that he lies to her and he knows that that's a betrayal of her trust. And I think that's the thing that ate away at him, not the regret of like the mass murdering that he did, but you know.
And for a girl, it's so many trust issues in general.
Right.
Like, this is a huge thing for her.
Yeah. I feel like this is possibly the worst betrayal at this life because of her life, because she didn't know her parents. She never had family. And this is probably the closest to family she's ever had. Remember, like Riley's like, I knew what that was like, even if it was brief, and I want it again. And Ellie, you don't know what that's like. And I think with Joel, she figured out what that was like. And perhaps we'll get to a point in her life where she she might understand why Joel did what he did, because she's never had that love in her life. So she never really could understand his motivation for like burning the world down for her kind of thing. But I feel like with Dina, with all that kind of stuff, with the people she knows in this community in Jackson, like if she really were to like invest in the community and make them her family, she would understand it. Hence why her passionate speech of like, if they come for one of us, they come for all of us, kind of thing. Like, she finally found family in a way. And that kind of changes, it's going to change her perspective on things. And I think that's the whole thing of like, you'll never understand until you're a parent kind of thing.
Yeah. Like you've been saying.
Yeah.
I think they're definitely setting up for Ellie to really learn all these things with the Dina storyline and just trying to protect her.
Yeah, she's
and I have
Joel,
no idea where they're going to go with it.
She's becoming Joel so she can empathize with his journey. Or at least choosing to burn the world down, kind of, which is also Joel's pathway.
I'm just curious, like, how much we'll actually get of that, though, in the next season, since it focuses on Abby.
And Elena's not telling us.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it kind of depends if there's going to be just the next season or if there's going to be another season after that, too. Because there is, from what I remember, there's still quite a bit of story to tell left. Like, there really is. It would make sense to me if there is 4 seasons for this, given what amount of story I know that there is for in part 2. I'm like, I feel like there could be 2 seasons out of that, this next part.
I feel like I've read something where the people in charge were like, yeah, we'd really like 4 seasons. We don't have the pickup for it yet, but
yeah, they just have season 3 confirmed already. That's it.
Right, which sounds insane because they were confirmed for season 3 before season 2 aired.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they're like, we don't know if we'll get a season 4. It's like, if you don't know if you're getting a next season, who is getting seasons anymore?
And then like,
I know.
How are they going to write the season? Because they can either plan for a season 4 or have to push as much as possible in season 3. And like, what happens if they get a season 4? Like, so both ways is like kind of dangerous because we're at risk of not getting the full story unless we play the game. But that was like the whole reason of them like wanting to make it too, is because in the behind the scenes, they were like, some of the people who worked on the game was like, why are we retelling the story? We've already acted this out for the game. Why are we having to tell this? And I believe it was Neil. He was like, there are people who will never pick up a controller.
Right.
And I believe in the story so much and think people should witness it, that we're going to bring it to those people who will never play this game.
And vice versa. It will get new people to be like, "Ooh, I want to play the game now."
I want to play the game, but the bits that I can't skip, I don't want to.
You would not like this game.
I purposely did not play the second game, because there was a point where, like, to progress you had to like hurt a dog. And I was like, that was like it was around the time my dogs died, so I was like, I cannot.
Yeah, it's really rough.
Could not
I feel
do
like
that.
They learned their lesson in part 1 when because you said that you didn't have to kill everybody at the doctor, like the Firefly camp. So they're like, oh no, we're going to make you. Because I think that's their way to get you to show, like, even, like, what are your morals? And, like, make you do it and have to live with the pain of having to do that, even though it's just a game.
Yeah.
But it makes it more real to the gamer. And they're also really good at doing shit like that.
Well, also, like, that's the thing, right? The medium in which you tell the art is going to influence your perspective on it, because as in a TV medium, you're passively watching this versus, like, in the game, you're an active participant in the story because you're inhabiting the character. So, like, your connection to the character, what the character's doing, what they're feeling, is more intimate because you are them, versus, like, I'm just watching this. So, like, I can't even imagine how heartbreaking it must be to be Joel at the end of season 1 and then you're mass murdering in a hospital. Like, you're doing it, right? Like, if you agree or disagree with him, that's regardless of the point. You're going to be forced to, like, stop the cure from happening regardless. Like, and you're doing it. So, like, your emotional investment is way different than just being like, oh my God, Joel's doing this horrible thing, or like, however you feel about it. Like, in the game, you're doing it. So I feel like I understand why people are very possessive of, like, video games that are converted into a different form of media and, like, the changes that are made, because, like, you obviously cannot have the same experience of a TV show than a game, because, like, you're not inhabiting anybody on a TV show. You're just watching it unfold. And so it's going to be different because it has to be. But, like, I understand why a gamer would be upset with changes, because, like, it was a more intimate experience in the game because you're inhabiting those characters and you have an intimate knowledge of them that's you're not going to have with a TV adaptation. So, like, I do understand that. And that's the beautiful part about, like, gaming. Like, it is a different experience, a different way to connect with art. Like, it really is. It's very unique.
It's the same, like, changing of medium of, like, trying to convert characters from a book into a movie or a TV show. Especially, like, a TV show. Like, there's plenty of characters that you can expand upon their stories, whereas, like, in a book, you're kind of limited to how long it can be, especially, like, if you're doing, like, a traditional novel. And you can only really focus on, like, a certain number of characters, whereas in a show, it can kind of has a little bit more range of how long it can run, like how long the episodes are, how long the seasons are, how many seasons there are, all the things. So that change of medium can really make allow room for some creative liberties while also restricting some others from the previous medium.
Yeah. Well said. I agree with that. Something I thought was interesting when, again, I didn't play any of the games. I want to, but I haven't. Something that I noticed when watching season 2 compared to season 1 was that the Cordyceps were way less of a focus in season 2. It was more geared towards looking at the human factions and how they're operating, specifically through, like, Ellie and Joel for the most part. We get a little bit of Abby, but it's mostly those two. And truly, again, I've said this when we talked about season 1, but this is such a human perspective, because we're getting lost in human politics, which is often petty, like vengeance, and we're ignoring the bigger enemy, which is, like, there's a fungus trying to wipe us all out and we're worried about this shit, you know? Again, we fall into those traps over and over again. It will never cease to amaze me. And what I thought was interesting, because like as a person who studies infectious diseases, I'm out here being like, how are these things going to evolve? When are we going to get cross species contamination? Like when are the cordyceps going to other animals, not just the humans? So I'm waiting for it to evolve. And so we get little bits and pieces through some of the conversations, especially like the council in Jackson, I think a little bit with the wolf people maybe. But like the human leaders are openly discussing a little bit about how the cordyceps are evolving. They're like, oh, they're making spores now. And we can just breathe in the infection. Or they're like, oh, they're getting smarter and like they're making hordes and communities. But there's no conversation about what we're going to do about this. They're just like, that's interesting. And then they move on. And it's like, guys, that's the actual problem here. It's just like, it never ceases to amaze me. I just had to point that out. I'm sorry.
Yeah. The fact that like the cordyceps are even like growing within their own like community and they just can't see it.
Yeah.
So like they break open the pipes and there's just like a horde of cordyceps. And it's just like, oh no. It's literally infiltrating and then it's too late because now they've triggered it and now all the infected are going to come running. It's like,
but they didn't clock that at all.
Yeah.
Which is wild because they know that there's a mycelium. They know that it operates underground. No one thought that. The minute I saw that, we were watching together, like, they're fucking coming. Because, like, the minute I saw them break that pipe open, I'm like, the mycelium's in there. Like, no one checked for the mycelium that we know exists. Like, again, when humans get, like, isolated in their own little human day-to-day shit, we're not thinking about the big enemy. I was just like, guys, what are you doing?
Also, it's funny that you pointed out the lack of cordyceps comparatively to last season, because I think I made a comment to Caitlin on that while we were reacting to the show. I think there was an episode, it was later in the season, and I was just like, yeah, that was always my one complaint about the game, was there's not a lot of, like, the clickers and everything, and I think, like, 2 minutes later, a clicker appeared. And I was like, I think Craig heard me.
That's right.
No, there was one episode where Elena kept doing that. Like, I wish there was this, or I wish there was that, and then literally it would happen.
Literally. I was like, Craig, are you in my walls, Craig? What is happening?
No, the reaction videos are very entertaining, if I do say so myself. Because you have me with my wild theories, and then Elena being very careful with what she says because she knows more and can't tell me. But and we also don't want to spoil it for anyone. What?
Also me getting surprises, like Joel saying I love you to Ellie, which was not in the game.
That was beautiful.
There's a lot of Elena freaking out right before something happens too, because she understands what's about to happen. And I'm just like, what is happening?
Yeah, me just going, oh no, this scene, and Caitlin just being like, what the fuck are you talking about?
But it was fun times. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was having a fun time with Caitlin when it was the Joel's gonna die episode. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's dying in this episode. And I was like trying so hard not to give anything away to Caitlin.
Meanwhile, I'm crying.
You were bawling. The minute I saw Abby, I'm like, he's toast. This is them. I knew she killed him. I was like,
I didn't know he was gonna get killed off. And I had a friend say, like, how did you not know that was gonna happen? I'm like, I just didn't know. I'm not chronically online. It's just it's a lot of work. I try to stay away from spoilers. I don't want to know what happens, because then you get reactions like that. Because like that wouldn't have been as fun if I knew it was gonna happen.
No.
And it was fun. It's better. But anyway, not that I liked this part of it, but the death scenes, especially this season, I mean, in general though, in the show, are like really, really well done. For the fact that like they really make you feel the way that the production wants you to feel. Like, to the point I had to skip over them when I rewatched the show for this episode. I skipped half of episode 2 because I just could not do it. It hurt too much. I felt so uneasy through the whole thing, like just knowing what's going to happen. I didn't want to witness Ellie screaming for basically her dad, Joel, getting beaten. It's just, it was too much. And like mentally, there's not, you have to have a really great mental day to be able to handle it without it messing you up.
Yeah.
So I had to skip that. But like also the other parts too, like with the seraphites and like really cutting out the organs and like letting them fall. It's a lot.
Oh yeah.
But it's so well done that it makes you, because like they could have, a different production that didn't have the budget could have easily been like cheesy death scenes and you're like, oh, that's not believable. But this was was so real that it makes you so uneasy to watch. And I think that was the point, and it's just to show how cruel humans are being to other humans. And like, this isn't the infected doing it.
No,
like this is more cruel than the infected biting someone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so, like, I'm just thinking about it and like, oh, I feel like Dina right now and I just want to throw up.
She was real for that.
God, I love Dina. Anyway.
All right. So speaking of why are we here moments, let's jump into my little section here. Okay, so first I want to bring up the premise of why Dina and Ellie are leaving. So the inciting event to get the hero journey going again. So Ellie makes this proposal to the Jackson Council to send 16 people to avenge Joel's death. And my question to all of you, that was the proposal. Would you have voted yes or no if you were on this council?
Well, hold on. I have a question before that. Why 16 people? That seems like a really random number.
Correct. That was her ask.
I thought that was just like the requirement if you wouldn't. I don't know. Anyway, personally,
yeah,
I think I would have said no.
They said 16 volunteers, right?
I think so. Oh no, well I don't know, because she said they said on the council
16 of our
best. I think they already had people in mind.
Yeah, if it had been volunteers, I would have said yes. But if it's 16 of our best, I would be very conflicted. I think.
I don't think it was volunteers. I think they would have been ordered to go.
Yeah, no volunteers. I'd be like, well, it's their choice, but
right.
Yeah,
right. That wasn't the ask.
I would say no because of like the community is still rebuilding. Like, why are we sending someone out there to kill someone? Like, if they come back, we can deal with it then. Like, then they will have to face repercussions. But at the end of the day, they really just can't afford this. Again, who knows are those 16 people making the bullets? Because we still don't know how they're getting bullets.
Yeah. How many bullets we got left? Yeah, this is crazy.
Again, do we have enough to ration to go out? I don't know. We don't have an inventory. I would like a bullet counter each episode.
Seriously. Like, what's left? What's our stockpile, really?
It's kind of like if anyone's seen Two Broke Girls at the end, like they're trying to save up to buy a cupcake shop, and at the end, the money amount either increases or decreases depending on if they lost money in the episode or made it. So I want them to, like, if they are making bullets, how much are they able to make, and versus how much they're actually using. I just think that'd be interesting.
Yeah. So, okay. So I would have voted no, because why 16? I'm with you, Caitlin. Why do you need 16 people? That's a lot of fucking people. Okay. In a community of like hundreds. That's a lot of people for a vengeance mission, which is not a great use of resources. So as a counselor, I would say no. Because you're asking not just for people, you're asking for horses, supplies, bullets, guns, all this equipment. And it's like, for what? For vengeance?
Honestly, the way they did it was enough.
Here's the deal, though. It's like, because like the conservative man, the homophobe, gets up there and he's like, well, don't give me this Jesus Christ, love your neighbor and forgive people, which again, humans, this is humanity, right? He's like, the one guy gets up there and he's like, we should just forgive people and move on, which is Jesus Christ's message. And then this guy is like, fuck that shit. Don't be a pussy. Like, what if they come back? They let Ellie go. what if they were really out here looking to wipe out everybody, they would have killed her. They didn't. They were literally there to kill Joel. They killed Joel and that was it. They're like, we're done. Bye. And they left. If it was really about this, like, they wouldn't have left Ellie alive. So, like, context clues that, like, they don't really give a shit about your settlement. So, like, his argument was invalid, first of all. And then it's like, okay, so then you go on this vengeance mission, and then what? Then we're everybody else in this world. We're being sucked into petty human politics again and missing the big picture, which is like, we're out here trying to survive. We got to deal with this cordyceps shit no one's dealing with. Like, why? What purpose does it serve to avenge the death of one person? Like, what does that serve?
It's also
Why-
just continuing the cycle because it all started from Joel killing the doctor.
Right. I like, does violence justify violence over and over and over and over again? Like, I would have said no, because this was just like, it seemed excessive for something that ultimately reaps no reward other than it makes you feel better. Seems like a lot to waste bullets and food and horses and people's lives. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Joel was great. Love him. Not saying that he wasn't a worthy human, but like, this is a huge ask. I also would have said no to this as a counselor. That's not good resource management. I'm just saying. Okay. Glad we're all on the same page. Okay. Next is the Scar cult people. They creeped me out. What?
The Seraphites.
Sure. The people with the scars on their faces. I don't want a name to name them. My question is, why do humans always have to make creepy cults? Like, why do we keep doing this? Like, you would think like all of that would go away. And we're like, we're trying to survive day to day. And humans are like, nah, let's make a new cult. Like, why are we always making cults? Like, why is that?
Because we always need someone to tell us what to do.
Seriously. We need mysticism. What I thought was, I don't know. You don't have to talk about this, Elena, if you know, but like, I just wonder if we'll get more context to these people when we get Abby's point of view, since they seem to be at war with each other for some reason over territory or like maybe something deeper. But like, they were intriguing to introduce as they introduced them. Creepy for sure. But the way they had like the graffiti of the like, she's the whoever their woman prophet.
Feel her love. Yeah.
Yeah, but they had like pictures of the prophet, and in different scenarios, it's a different woman. So like, I'm curious, like, what is this cult? And like, is there one prophet, multiple prophets? Is the prophet a metaphor? Like, why do we always gotta have prophets? Just like, we're in the apocalypse, people. You guys are not that far removed from science. Like, you know, like, this is wild that this propped up so quickly, you know? It's like 20 years later, they're like, all right, we have a new god. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? That was wild. But I guess it's desperation breeds cults. I was just very uneasy watching the opening of that episode where you had like, it was clearly a cult and you had a child, a girl specifically, with the scarred face, with an older man. And I was just like, pedophilia. I'm like, we're back with the grooming of children. I'm like, why are we back here again? Like, could we not with the creepy cults and the grooming of children? That's where my brain went immediately. I was like, I can't with this. Why another one? Like, it just made me so uncomfortable.
Well, in a later episode too, when Ellie gets captured, we get another child just stone-faced. Like, first of all, great job, child, because just literally stone-faced. And then Ellie's trying to get the child to be on her side and like, tell him. And the child just motions like what the Seraphites do, and stabbing and like rip out all the organs, let them fall out.
Because that's
like,
normal.
This is a child who does not understand anything. It can't be more than like, I think she's even younger than the first child we see. So she's like 4 or 5 at most.
This is her whole life. She's been fully indoctrinated into whatever this is, to where this is normal. That's her only perspective of the world. Like, that's crazy. But yeah, anyway. Fucking cults, man. Creepy motherfuckers. Okay. And then I really like the little glimpse of Fedra stuff we got with I think the wolves. And where we have the flashback at like the beginning of Fedra and in Seattle.
Yeah.
We had the commanding officer who's in the van with all like the green guys, and they're talking trash about the people they're protecting. And the term voters comes out where they call them voters. And I loved this conversation. It's unsettling, but it's so real, where you had these green military guys who are there. They have power over the people who aren't in the military. And so they're mockingly calling them voters. And I love the realism that the younger generation of young soldiers, they don't know anything else. This is their reality. They only know this, right? And they don't even understand the term. And they're like, why do we call them that? And he's like, I don't know. It doesn't matter. That's just what we call them. It's a derogatory term. And I love that the commanding officer takes the moment to point out that these guys don't even think about what that means or the context of that, right? Because they've known nothing else. They've known nothing else but this post-Cordyceps world, right? They don't understand the context that like we used to be a democracy where people vote, and now we're military authoritarianism where there is no vote. There is what the commanding officer says down the rank, and that's it. There is no voting. So they fucking call them voters because they lost their right to vote. Now they're trapped in this totalitarian hellscape or get eaten by fungus. Like, and the guys don't have the context of that. They're just like, ha, I'm better than you. That's literally all. There's no other brain cell activity happening. And it's just like, yeah, like that's indoctrination into Fedra, like right there. Like, I love that. It's creepy, but that's how humans work again.
Yeah, it's a good portrayal of just like the differences of the people who actually remember the history, like know it, and like the history again, like we keep saying, like it's being lost because now they don't even know what's going on. But
it's lost or rewritten too, because it's kind of like in the like like now, like I'm from New York originally, and then I moved to Florida. So I went to school in the North and then the South, and I remember how the civil rights stuff was talked about in the North and the South in American school system. And in the North, we talk about how the Civil War happened because of slavery, and then I was taught in the South it's states' rights, like blatant, like again, it's same kind of shit. Like you can tell the same story, but just like frame it differently, and then if people know nothing else, that's what they'll believe. And yeah, they do a good job of depicting like the subtleties of humanity in this show. I thought it was really well done.
I mean, it's not cool is not the right word, but like interesting that you have like that firsthand experience of seeing like the differences in the way it's being taught, because that really shows you how skewed things are.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just makes me question, what is the truth? There is no truth.
Literally, what is the truth? And there's a this is not relevant to the show, but there's a book series I really love. It's called the Roots of Chaos series. It's got the Priory of the Orange Tree and like all of that in it. And the author, it's an epic fantasy, and the author makes a really big point of being like, not one single person in this book series that spans centuries, nobody knows the full truth. And that's true. Like you'll never know the full truth. People have bits and pieces and they try to put things together, but like nobody knows the truth. And it's just in what your concept of the truth is shapes your perspective. And it's a fascinating story. If you're into that nuance, very fun.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
but this Fedra scene, I will always remember it. It has nothing to do with the show. I mean, it does, but I only think of me and Elena realizing that Josh Peck is in the scene after a good like 2 minutes into it. So go watch the reaction video for that.
Both were just like, this guy seems familiar. And they were, I think you were the one who said, like, I think that's Josh Peck. And I was like,
is that Josh Peck?
It fucking is. Shit.
And like, I don't know about you, like we grew up with Josh Peck. So
yeah, like, no, I grew up watching Drake and Josh like so much. And the Amanda Show as a kid. So
the Amanda Show.
Yeah, no, Josh Peck was a big part of my childhood.
And there he is in the apocalypse.
But he didn't last long, so
well,
no.
Probably for a good thing in this show. Anyway.
Last thing I want to rant about personally, well, just get your takes on. This series got season 2 got a lot of hate online, and I really don't understand why. Like, The only thing I can think, maybe you guys have better perspective. The only thing I can think of is like, who's the target audience? Like men, and then like we're transitioning from like Joel being the lead to women being the leads. So there's that, and then there's transphobia over the actor that played Ellie. That's all I got. I don't understand why this got so much rabid hatred towards it. Do you guys know? I don't understand it.
Especially with the show being so well done too. Like this was my biggest why are we here, because this was ridiculous. Go ahead, Elena. I'm sure you have a lot more insight.
I think the biggest thing was a lot of people were very mad about Joel dying, which from a lot of that was coming from a lot of people who had never played the game, so they had no idea. So they were saying it was very sudden, very unexpected. Which I was like, I mean, I can't say because from my perspective, I knew it was going to happen because I know the game. So I'm like, fair enough, maybe that's the case. I don't know. But also to your point, I think because there were, like Bella Ramsey, I think specifically got a lot of hate for becoming the front runner. And suddenly everybody was saying last season, Bella Ramsey is an amazing actor. Oh my God, they're so talented. God, they really picked the perfect Ellie. And then Caitlin Dever comes along as Ellie, or not as Ellie, but like Abby. She had auditioned for Ellie and is playing Abby now. And everybody's like, she should have been Ellie. She'd have been the perfect Ellie. Who is this Bella? Bella shouldn't have been Ellie. And I'm like, what?
Right. Like, transphobia.
It's also like everybody saying, like, associating Ellie as is not being the Ellie. Ellie is not Ashley Johnson. That is what people are expecting. Is Ellie is not, or that Bella is not Ashley Johnson. These two are very different people. Ashley Johnson being the voice actor for Ellie in the game.
Yeah.
For those who don't know. Bella's not Ashley Johnson. And Pedro Pascal is not Troy Baker. Like, they're very different people. It's a very different type of acting. And I think people were expecting Ashley Johnson is what they were expecting for Ellie. And when they didn't get that, they got this new take on Ellie, which is still very, like, sarcastic, still very witty, still very badass, still very, like, doesn't take shit, especially from men.
Yes.
Still, but also at the same time, still a very socially awkward lesbian. Like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. Just because Bella does not look like Ellie from the game. And I think that's the only real, like, foundation they're going off of, is that they don't look similar. And it's like, so what?
Bella's killing it.
Because Bella doesn't have bangs as Ellie? Because Ellie doesn't have bangs? Because she does in the game? But it's like, so fucking what?
Right. What is that?
And like, people can't handle that Caitlin looks more like Ellie.
It's so dumb. But also that Abby is not... Abby's like very built in the game. She's like very beefy. She's ripped in the game. And Caitlin Dever is not like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. We're not mad about that? Yeah, exactly.
Well, some people were a little bit, but I was just like, get over it.
Also, yeah, it's like, again, it's an adaptation. I think people are just mad that women are in charge now of the story.
Yeah, or that non-binary actor.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think it's like transphobia is really what it was. Because we're cool with it when Pedro was the lead. And we're like, hey, yeah, this is fine. And Pedro's gone. They're like, what do you mean? Women? What? I feel like that's really what it was for so many people.
So stupid.
But like,
it's fucking stupid.
People
I agree.
Are yelling about everything online. Won't let anybody like it either. Because these hate comments extended to our content.
Ugh.
Where we had to deal with the wrath of just saying something nice about the show, which is ridiculous. And you're just trying to tear people down. And again, it goes back to misogyny, because we had men commenting, of course, the women like this bastardization of a thing. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yep. This is like some
this show is very well done.
Yeah,
the production, so much heart has been put into it. And even just watching the behind the scenes, like, the creators of the game, like, you can't even be upset, because like the creators of the game were literally a part of the process. They are the ones creating this too. This is their story. So, all right, you go out and write your own damn thing then.
Seriously, yeah.
Well, that's what I mean, where I feel like changing the medium changed people's perspective, because I feel like coming from gamers who are upset, again, there was a more intimate relationship with you and these characters. And now it almost reads like people are mad that the series is not their experience playing the game. And it's like it was literally never going to be that, because it can't be, because you're passively watching something, whereas you were actively participating in these characters' journeys. So it's not going to be the same. So I feel like people are mad that like I didn't have the same feelings, and it's like that's a you problem, and that's a we changed the medium, and therefore it's going to be different. And so I feel like people's expectations were off, because I don't think people realize that it's not going to be your gaming experience, because it can't be. And so it pissed people off. And maybe because the season 1 followed the game more closely, that people were cool with it, and then they changed the chronicity. They took the Abby part out a lot more. Maybe like people were mad about that, because again, it's not the same gaming experience, and I think that just made people mad. But like from a storytelling perspective, once you have season 2 and season 3, it's going to be a better narrative story to be like, we're sticking with these guys, and then we're going to pull back and go into this one and then converge everything. Like it kind of like I see where they were going with it from a narrative point of view, and I feel like it would have been hard to like they got less episodes too. It would have been harder to like inject the Abby stuff. I feel like we wouldn't have gotten as far in the story, maybe, if they had to take time away. Like we probably wouldn't have gotten the resolution with Joel and Ellie. Like, how would they even done that with the time they had? Like, I feel
we
like
would not have gotten the flashback episode.
Right. I feel like they had to be like, well, with the time we have, the resources we have, we're gonna have to adjust this, because it's not gonna. I feel it would have actually been more disjointed or like unsatisfying to maybe do that. And that's maybe why they chose that narrative choice. Because again, you're not getting the whole game. You're getting like a piece of it, because they only have so much time to do it. And that's part of like TV. Like you have limited resources when you're adapting. It seems like there's more, but like with a game, it's hours and hours of content versus like you have like 7 hours. Go. Like,
But like even being upset with something in the show, why does it negate every other aspect of the show? Like you can't just say the production's well done. Like, because they filmed this beautifully. The graphics are great. Why is everything just terrible? And you can't acknowledge any of the good in the show.
That's a bigger question about like online fandoms and entitlement as fans, and the way it's black and white, where it's like, I don't like this one thing, therefore the whole thing is bad. And it's like, no, like it's like to your point, we've been doing this long enough to be like, there's nuance to everything. Like, yeah, some things I didn't like, but that doesn't mean the whole thing. It doesn't make the production bad. It just means I didn't like this part personally, or like I don't agree with this, but it doesn't make it bad. It's not good. Look at the fucking story you're looking at. Is Joel good or bad? He's both. Like it's more complicated than just being like all of it's bad. Then you literally missed the whole fucking point of the story if that's your point of view. Like you missed the whole story. It's both. And that's okay. That's life. Like you can hate the stuff you hate, and you can acknowledge that there's good stuff or die mad. Like that's your choice. Like,
but it's also showing like what happens in the show, because like the fandom's literally fighting each other.
Mm-hmm. Yep, just like the humans.
So congratulations, the show has gone over your head.
Correct. Yes, you've missed the entire point of the story. You missed the whole point. Well done. See, they're right with the way they wrote this. Humans will eat each other alive, and that is why we will ultimately fail in the apocalypse. We will fail as a species because of this. Anyway.
Watch, I'll use that as a promo. The next 10 comments, at least, will be hate towards us.
This is why we lose the apocalypse, yeah.
Oh
anyway.
my God.
So thank you for giving some insight from like the game, because I couldn't understand. I'm like, there must be some change that I'm missing, or like something huge they deviated from, but it sounds like it's not really. It was just people's personal preferences, and then they made that an end all be all thing, is my take really from the discourse.
Yeah.
That's really shitty.
Meanwhile, I'm over here just like, the only reason why I hated this season and also the second game is Joel dying. That's literally it. That's my only one thing that, and it's not necessarily that I think it was unjustified or that he shouldn't have died or anything. It's just like, I just was very upset.
Yeah.
Because I loved his character. And a
Yeah.
character dying usually means we are no longer going to see that character. Which I'm like, fuck!
Unless we get flashbacks.
Yeah, which I'm like, they pretty much covered all the flashbacks that were in the game, so
I figured.
Yeah, so the thing is like it leads me to always like ponder like when they were putting together the second game, what made them decide that killing Joel was gonna be the driving factor of the story? Where was that decided and why? Because I'm like, the thing is like Joel and what he did at the end of the first game in the first season, like obviously it was very good to give him repercussions, like his actions were gonna have consequences.
Agreed.
I don't know, part of me wondered if it was like, is killing him off just like
shock value,
the easiest answer, and then
It's
could it have been more complex? I don't know.
Right. I wondered, was this a game? Was this a Ned Stark moment? Like,
yeah.
If you watched Game of Thrones, if you haven't, or haven't read the books, spoiler, jump ahead.
Yeah.
But in Game of Thrones, which is the first book of the Song of Ice and Fire, which is what the TV series was adapted off of, the first book is mostly told through Ned Stark's point of view. Like, you are in his brain. And then you get to the end of that book and it changes to somebody else's point of view and he's decapitated. So like you don't see that coming because you're like, he was the point of view character for the whole book. And then suddenly the author's like, trust nothing. I can kill anybody in this story. So I wonder if it was a Ned Stark moment where they're just like, you're getting too comfortable again. This is the fucking apocalypse, viewers. Like, nobody's safe, including Joel, your favorite, whom was our point of view character in season 1. It felt like a Ned Stark moment to me because we keep forgetting we're in the fucking apocalypse.
I mean, in the reaction video, I'm pretty sure I even say like, well, he's not going to die. He's the lead.
Right. Ned Stark moment.
Yeah.
They can't kill Ned Stark.
You don't get plot armor. That's not how it works.
Yeah, it's not how it works. We're in the apocalypse, guys.
But
yeah, I'm with you. Could it have been more complex? Yeah.
That did steer me away from playing that second game because
that's heartbreaking.
He was one of my favorite characters. Also, just not getting to hear like Troy Baker being Joel was just like one of my favorite things. So, but then also on the show now with Pedro, it's like, well, now that Pedro's gone,
right?
What do I do with myself? Pedro Pascal, excuse.
Right. I think that's a bigger issue with trying to get this renewed because he's such a big A-list actor. I feel like that's gonna be a big hurdle for getting a season 4 because he's gone. You know, with season 2, I was like, well, most people probably don't know he's gonna be in it for a hot minute. And so it'd be easier to get it renewed. And especially season 3. But now he's gone. So I feel like they're gonna struggle to get a season 4 if that's what they want.
Yeah. Season 3 is gonna have to wow people in order to get renewed. I'm worried.
I'm worried too. I feel like that's gonna be the end. Personally, because now again we're transitioning to, this was always meant to be the female-centric game, and I don't think the fanboys are going to be thrilled about that.
I mean, I will say for you guys at least, the next season, I don't know if we're gonna. I assume we're gonna go back to Ellie and Dina every so often.
We were told that they're going to be in it, but it revolves around Abby.
If the scenes that I know of are going to be in this season at all, I think you guys will have a fun time. So,
oh, thank you.
Well, that's good. That's better than I was expecting. I was
not expecting you to say something positive.
To have your heart ripped out. That too, but in a different, probably not what you're thinking though. So,
I don't know. Wild imagination here.
Yeah, it's like, given what Caitlin has said in the past, I'm like, I think it's not what she's thinking at all. So,
look at Caitlin's face.
Caitlin's just like,
wait, now I don't know what's happening, and I'm kind of glad about that. But now I really need the next. I don't know what
I just want to say, Caitlin, you thought you got spoiled for next season. You did not. I will just say,
good.
Did I get bad intel? I don't know, but I feel like I'm gonna cry right now.
You didn't get spoiled, but it's still sad sometimes. So
I mean, it's the apocalypse, everyone. I'm just look. When it comes to the next season, I'm really intrigued to see what Abby's point of view of like her life is like living in this other paramilitary group. Like, I'm just excited to see what that was all like, because like we don't really know anything about her actual mission, what her day-to-day life was like, what that compound was like, because we saw everything through Ellie's point of view, and that was always like bad, kill them. So I want more world building, and I'm hopeful we'll get that through Abby's eyes, because we're going to see a different part of Seattle and potentially other things that we weren't privy to through Ellie's point of view.
hopefully we'll get some more Cordyceps storylines too.
That too. I'm hopeful for that because she was Firefly adjacent, and they seemed to be the only group that was like trying to address this. So I'm hoping we'll get some intel on like, is anybody doing anything? Are we just like giving up? Like, what do we know other stuff? Because they're like paramilitary, so like they seem to be more surveilling of stuff versus the Jackson people are just like, let's trade and live and have Christmas, and they're not surveilling Cordyceps the way they are. Hopefully. We'll see.
I have a question because I feel a little stupid.
Yeah.
Because we go back with Abby and it says day one. Day one of what?
Seattle. Because remember when like Ellie showed up, they were like Seattle day one. So like we got 3 days of Seattle, then we're getting Seattle day one. What was Abby doing?
Okay, so it was only that time because I couldn't remember. Like the day one of when they showed up at Seattle again.
Yeah, when we get the timeline in season 2 that says Seattle day one. That's when the start.
So that's not what I was thinking.
One. Right. Yeah. I'm sure we'll get flashbacks beyond that too, but
sorry, it's the same timeline of when Ellie and Dina are coming to Seattle. Okay. It's that same time frame.
So it's just 3 days.
That's all happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're gonna get those 3 days, I assume, and then probably flashbacks from Abby, because we like really don't know her other than like her dad was the doctor. So I'm assuming they're gonna have to give her context to her life, because if we haven't played the game, this is our like we're going to be very much introduced to her. So I assume we're going to get like multiple timelines, but it's going to mostly follow like the present timeline will be Seattle day 1, 2, 3, and then like then they converge in that room. Where what a fucking cliffhanger! Can I just say that? Like, what a cliffhanger! Glad they got a season 3, because I'd be really pissed to be like, this is where it ends, you motherfuckers. Like with uncertainty.
Like Elena knows, but like who actually got shot? Because I have so many theories going in my head right now. You can't
say that on the air, Caitlin. Offline, we'll do it offline. People don't want to spoil people. Do you want to get spoiled for real?
No, I didn't say anything. Like, I said I know Elena knows, and I was just wondering. I don't want Elena. That's why Elena's muted right now, so she won't say anything.
She's talking muted, shit right now.
Yeah, she's telling us the truth, but we can't hear.
She's a truther.
But Elena, just know that you are mute. Okay, now you're not.
I am not saying anything. I'm just going to be giving expressions. That is it.
Love it.
Elena's good at not telling me, so that's why like I knew I could say things. Because Elena just lets me go off.
I just do a little dance. I just make a little face. That's it. It's like,
I thought you were about to go. I just do a little dance. Make a little
get down there. That's where my brain went to.
Oh my gosh, but no, yeah. There's just so many possibilities. I was gonna say something. Oh, I do. Okay, I remember now. I wonder if Abby saw Ellie and Dina at all during those 3 days and just didn't do anything right away. No,
I don't remember that part. I don't remember that part of the game, so I don't know.
I feel like she was absorbed in whatever the hell she was doing on the wharf out there in that aquarium.
I wish it didn't take 2 years to make it.
Yeah. Yeah, so we got a couple of years to go before we find out what the hell happened. Do not tell us in the comments if you know. Please be an Elena. Don't tell us.
Yes.
All right.
I did want to point out just like 2 other things that I remembered that we talked about during the reaction videos. Do you guys remember during the scene where they go down underground and they're like in all the spores and everything. The Ellie is down there and they're all like surrounded by just like
Yeah.
cordyceps. I just want to point out, I pointed this out in the actual reaction, but none of that is CGI. That is all real set builds. Yeah, that was all made. And that, like, there's video behind the scenes of them, like, in that set. And
That's
it's like,
cool.
it's all real. It was all built. That is
That's
not
cool.
CGI, any of it.
That's so cool.
Like,
It was very
including the
cool.
stuff in the air?
I don't know about that.
But they built all the cordyceps
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah. Like the walls and everything being covered and
insane.
all that. And the guys, like, immersed in it. That was all real. They had to do, like, a certain, like, setup with all that.
Oh my god, no. The bodies that were hanging in the television studio, those were all real people hanging.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Not dummies.
Yeah, it's insane. It's definitely worth watching the behind the scenes because they do as much practical as possible.
That's awesome.
And it's insane because, like, the most dangerous situations that you would not, you'd be like, oh, that's a dummy. No, it's a real person.
That's crazy. I would never
that's
guess.
just CGI. Nope. It's real set building.
Damn.
It's like when like
Respect.
Agatha all along, they did that. They did all like as much practical effects as possible. And it was great.
Yeah. They were filming in sub-zero temperatures with a fan blowing on them. It's insane.
That too. Yeah, the blizzard in the first in Joel's death, like during that whole part, that was a real blizzard that they were stuck in too.
Oh shit.
Oh, also one of the cool things to learn is that they were filming in a town. I forget which season this was for, but this town was known for having a lot of snow and always being in snow. And then when they were filming, they got there was no snow anywhere on the mountains. So they brought in 300 and they couldn't bring in anything. They had to use anything that was already in the town. So they somehow made snow and had 350 dump trucks fill 10 blocks. And then the night before they went to shoot, it snowed.
That sucks so bad. Sucks so bad.
There wasn't a lot of snow in season 1.
Seriously.
So it could have been like episode 8, or it could have been like any part of season 2, I feel like.
Yeah, I've heard. I watched them back to back, but it's definitely worth watching those because they edit those very well too. It's very engaging and really cool to see, like, even the actors say like where they think their characters' heads were at during certain scenes.
Yeah.
It's very cool. I'm glad they do stuff like that. And like, because especially on the day of filming, because you see them pull them out of filming and they're like in their costumes and stuff.
And the sun really cool. And the snow comes down and everybody just goes, God fucking damn it.
It's a great show. They do so well. They very well done
so
production.
Much for it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty insane production job. So kudos to everybody that worked on it. It was a well done, well executed show. Regardless of how you feel about the changes, like production wise, well done.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Final thoughts?
Taylor Swift songs? I don't know if you have one, Theora.
I do not.
Okay. So the song Epiphany I thought would work here with Ellie having to deal with Joel's death.
Ooh.
And I'm going to read it really quickly. So keep your helmet on. No, keep your helmet. Keep your life, son. Just a flesh wound. Here's your rifle. Crawling up the beaches now. Sir, I think he's bleeding out. And some things you just can't speak about. And then this part especially. With you I serve. With you I fall down, down. Watch you breathe in. Watch you breathing out. Something med school did not cover. So, like, I feel like this is just Ellie being like, I'm with Joel every step of the way. Like, she's there for him. And now that he's down, like, what is she doing? Like, she's falling down. Like, she's going down a spiral now that he's gone. And then someone's daughter, someone's mother, hold your hand through plastic now. I mean, like, now he's gone. And I just thought back to the moment where Tommy is literally washing and, like, preparing Joel's body.
Oh, I forgot to talk about that. I love the detail of having them prep the bodies because that's such a, like, that goes back millennia with people, like, doing burial rituals like that and cleansing the body into the afterlife. I like that they had the commune doing that and doing that practice. They had a whole room full of the dead, and the way they were honoring their dead. They didn't really talk about it, but I like them having that because that's a very human practice. And I really enjoyed seeing it, especially like the loved ones of Joel being the ones to cleanse, because that's a cult that goes back so long with humans. Like, it's a point of respect to be the one that like cleanses the body. So I did like that detail. Thank you for bringing that up. I forgot about it.
And you get the glimpse of the watch that has a bullet through it.
That's in there, yeah.
The moment that Ellie opens the box, somebody on Tumblr pointed this out, that the symbolism of her opening the box at his house and pushing aside the watch to grab the gun, like the symbolism behind that. Like, that just showed like the path she had chosen.
Yeah.
So
go back to the therapist. Some people can't be saved. Like, I love that scene too, where she's like talking about like, because like again, that whole conversation was like Ellie's becoming Joel and Tommy's afraid, and basically the therapist is like, people choose what they want. Sometimes you can't talk them out of it. She's gonna make the choice, and that's her making the choice. Like, I'm gonna be going down Joel's path of burning the world down for one person.
And in the song Epiphany, the next line is, "Doc, I think she's crashing out," and it's a quote line. And this is like, to me, when Tommy's speaking to the therapist about like what Ellie's going to do, like he's so worried about her because she's literally crashing out right now. And then it continues on to say, "And some things you just can't speak about, only 20 minutes to sleep, but you dream of some epiphany, just one single glimpse of relief to make some sense of what you've seen." And again, it's just Ellie's spiral of trying to make sense of it and trying to get revenge. Like, she's not sleeping. She's watching her back. Like, you just don't. And it's just a lot. So I think that this song works for that.
No, that's pretty perfect. And like, she doesn't really speak about her feelings about Joel, and like, she's just go, go, go kind of thing. Yeah, to make sense of it. Because again, it goes back to the whole thing that I talked about in season 1. What's their purpose? People want a purpose, something to like give their life meaning in this like meaningless thing, which is like stay alive. So like revenge against Joel, like there's a purpose. Like, she says it, I think, at the end of season 1 too, where like, not, and maybe in the last episode, where they see the giraffe and then they're having the conversation where Joel's like, you can choose not to go to the Fireflies. Nobody's forcing you to do this. If you don't want to do this, we leave. Like, and she's like, she says something along the lines of like, well, we've done so many things, like it needs to mean something. Like, it's a way to justify all the horrors in the world, and like the killing people, killing your best friend, killing sexual assaulters, and like, it's like Ellie's way of saying like, I can't really live with myself unless this has a purpose. And so same thing with Joel. So here's this thing where he just died. She doesn't understand the context of why. And they did all these things together. They were finally reconciling. It needs to mean something. There has to be meaning assigned to it, which again is such a human thing to be like, I need to contextualize this horrible thing that happened. And that's Ellie's coping mechanism, is like avenging him, for better or worse. Like, and that's like Ellie's humanity,
Yeah, Ellie definitely parallels Jill too, with just
So much.
unprocessed grief.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well said. She definitely does. She needs to go see the therapist when she goes back to Jackson and be like honest with the therapist.
She needs the biggest hug in the world, and also therapy.
She needs a hug, therapy, and maybe some whiskey. I don't know.
We need to train more therapists. I know we don't have time for that, but like, we need to. We just need to.
Agreed. Okay. Big Gay Energy Award. What you got?
Mine, I knew it off the top of my head. All right, ready? It's Dina. Just Dina. Look at her.
I mean, fair.
Look at her. Like, Dina's mom, there was no hiding that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So mine's very specific. Mine's for Ellie there's the episode, oh my gosh, I don't remember if it's like episode 2 or 3. But I think it's episode 3. She so Seth, the homophobic asshole from the dance, he basically tries to apologize, and he's like, here's a sandwich, blah blah blah, and Ellie kind of just goes, okay, cool, and she leaves. Because she's like,
he says be safe. She's like, yep.
Yeah. It's like you're not apologizing because you're sorry. You're apologizing because you went under fire for doing this.
Right.
That's literally it. It's like it's the whole you're not sorry, you just don't want me to be angry. You don't want to be accountable, so you're saying you're sorry so that we let it go.
Yep.
And so she just like fully when she didn't even give him a second of, "Oh, it's okay. I forgive you," whatever. She just went, "All right," and left. I was like, that right there. You don't need to sit and listen to the bullshit apologies that aren't apologies.
Yeah. Social pressure. Yeah.
Honestly, very healing moment for me for like half a second there.
No, that was really great. That's a good scene to point out. That had a lot of big gay energy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to Joel for punching the homophobe. Because yes, more men punching homophobes. Just in general. And being a good dad who ended up accepting like Ellie and who she was. Like,
yeah.
I love him for that.
He had a lot of growth.
He did. He just, he just needed to process it a little bit. That was all like new to him. So can't blame him.
He's navigating all this for the first time as well.
Yeah, in an apocalypse. A lot going on, man.
There is. Speaking of a lot going on, we've been here for a little while. So if you're still here listening, we want to know. I have a question for you today. And so I want you to answer in a comment or even a review if you would like. I chose the Taylor Swift song Epiphany for this episode, for this season. So I want to know, did you have an epiphany while watching this show? Like, did anything make you question what you're seeing? Like, for Theora, she was talking about, like, who's the actual monsters. That was in season 1. We talked about that. But, like, what made you really think, oh, this is happening? Or I'm supposed to be thinking about this. Like, this is what the show's actually trying to tell me right now. Just curious.
Yeah, there's a lot of moments if you really look at it.
Oof.
So let us know in the comments. Yeah, let us know. All right, so that was season 2. Let us know what you thought about it. What was your epiphany? And we'll be waiting for season 3 to see what the heck happens and avoiding spoilers.
Yes, do not tell us.
No, we don't want to know. We don't want to know. And until next time, hydrate for lesbian Jesus.
And gay it up all over the place.
Bye.
Bye.
And with that, we've been Big Gay Energy. If you like this episode, check out all our other episodes right here on YouTube.
Please like, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more amazing super gay content.